perfect weather conditions, and Sardinia at its best, marked the first day on the water at the Giorgio Armani Superyacht Regatta, an event organized by the yacht club Costa Smeralda with the support of title sponsor Giorgio Armani. Norda 100, Morgana, leads after day 1. It was a marvelous start for participants in the Southern Wind Rendezvous.
Porto Cervo is always very nice for us to sail here in this water.
And the conditions were perfect. Porto Cervo, as always, is glamorous, and the sightseeing was beautiful.
This is your weekly global sailing highlights show, The World on Water, June 7, 2024. It was the sort of conditions that make racing sailors salivate. 18 knots true with 24 knots gusts, blue skies, temperate airs, a moderate chop for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, making it a stop-start kind of day with technical issues on the boat as the top-end conditions bit. So fine-tuned are the AC75s, that any tiny component that isn't absolutely 100% can mean the end of your day. Just like Formula 1, it's either all on or all off. Jimmy is showing his true Aussie heritage as he answers the interview's questions.
We're here with Jimmy Spithill from Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. You're helming on starboard side today. We were seeing gusts just over 20 knots. You're absolutely ripping, but not for long as the day came to an early end. Can you break it down for us?
Yeah, we got a little bit of sailing and beautiful breeze out there. You know, we had a couple of changes inside the boat that no one can really see, and yeah, we just came in. We wanted to make a few changes. We thought about going out, but we changed our minds and thought, look, we're gonna sort through a couple of things and then get the full day in tomorrow.
Can you give us a hint as to what changes were made inside the boat?
No.
So it was very stop and start earlier in the session. You were sailing for 2 minutes, stop for a while, and then go back for another 2 minutes of sailing. Can you tell us what was going on?
Yeah, we just were stopping, just checking a few things out on these things, but yeah, ultimately it's just one of those days. You know, you have days sometimes, you've got a few little things here and there, and like I said, we could have gone out again, but we just thought tomorrow's forecast looks just as good, if not better. We said, look, let's come in, let's get sorted for tomorrow, and we'll use the whole day.
We saw the rudder stock fairing open with the techs working inside. Was it an issue with the steering systems?
No, steering was all good. We had a couple other things inside the boat.
And so when you actually did get sailing, you started with a downwind, 2 boards down, lots of twists in the sail. What were you working on?
Yeah, I mean, the 2 boards is something I think a lot of the teams are really looking at when the breeze gets up. So we're just working on the balance, sailing down, and then we got a pretty nice upwind run in on the way home.
Do you think there's a chance of sailing downwind in the very strong breeze with 2 boards down in the racing?
I think if you need control or stability at times, yeah, but it would really be on the top end because VMG, you pay a big penalty. But you see a lot of teams, we saw the Kiwis in New Zealand in the very top end using it a lot for barraways and any time they got unstable. Clearly round-ups when the breeze gets up. So, yeah, I mean, that 2 boarding is definitely a feature for these boats when you start getting overpowered.
And how much work is going into the systems, you know, when we're talking about fast drops, slow drops, gravity drops? Where's the work to be done?
You're just constantly fine-tuning. There's so many things you can change on the boat and the settings. It's just a never-ending kind of task that you have in front of yourself. And yeah, every day you go out, you try and fine tune it a bit, and then the conditions can change and you probably want to change the settings again. So tomorrow looks top end again, which would be great. So we'll definitely utilise tomorrow the full day.
Jimmy, thank you for your time.
No worries.
Boris Herrmann's motto for the 2024 New York to Vondee Transat was "Go big or go home." Boris said, "It's super hard to make this kind of decision when you're alone." Here is an explanation for all the people glued to the tracker and wondering why Boris is going so far north.
Hi, good evening everyone from Malizia Sea Explorer, day 5 in the New York Vondee race, solo across the Atlantic. I'm not pointing at all at Les Sables d'Olonne. I'm heading north at the moment. I read an article today with some speculation about why or why not I would do that. Well, it's complicated for sure, and just so much I see a fair chance. The route in the north is not longer, so that was stated wrong in that article. The route is actually a little bit shorter via the north. And it has some potential, it has some risk. It has definitely more risk than the south route, where Charlie is. He is in a very, very good position, but I can't get where he is since a while, and so actually it's pretty tricky for me to actually make something good out of the south route at all. For me, it is not gambling. It is. With the information I have, the best informed decision I could make with the tools I have. I spent a lot of time routing with Adrina. Maybe I'm not the skilled weatherman, but I tried to do my best. Certainly I paid a lot of attention. I looked very closely at the different options, and at one stage you have to make the call. And well, I could have made a call beforehand to keep it more safe. So in a way, I regret that. I would have loved to have less excitement because this is pretty much up in the air. What's coming out of this? To be honest, I see that consciously, like probably everyone else. There are a couple of risks attached to this route, lots of high pressure, and it could possibly block like tomorrow or in a couple of days near the Irish coast. So at the same time, my instinct very much wanted me to go this way because with the uncertainty of the weather models we had seen, I wasn't feeling ready to invest straight away into the east as much as Charlie did. So probably that was the rationale yesterday, and since then I put myself a little bit out of options. Could have maybe last night came back, but now it's I think it would be complicated to try to do a south route for me. Well, it would be more certain, but certain according to my calculations, I would be behind a big portion of the fleet. So what's the point? Then I'd rather take the risk to go in the north. That's probably to explain my rationale. It's not that I'm lightly giving up a second place. I would have been flattered to be able to follow Charlie on his path, and I congratulate him for the great race he's doing. He is sailing an upwind race south of the high pressure, and I'm light wind, downwind north of the high pressure, but I have also to go through parts of the high pressure, so depending on the route we find tomorrow. The wind is a bit up and down now. We have some lulls where the boat slows down completely to 10 knots, then it picks up again to 21. Right now we're doing 21 knots. It is pleasant in a way that I like the Nordic vibe out here, the atmosphere. The sea looks almost silver and the sky is gray, but gray with a silver note. So I thank you everyone for following the race, as always. Lots appreciated the messages I got. Thank you very much for those thinking of me or about the situation. I invite you to join the excitement of this route. It could potentially do something, but I don't promise anything. I'm fully aware of the risk. I'm not just gambling. I thought about this a lot. I'm aware that this could be a disaster as well, but so it be. Eventually some wind will bring me home, and the only hard deadline I have is the birthday of my daughter, for which I want to be at home. This is still a few days away, and probably the other bottleneck is the food on board. I'm running out of breakfast first, but everything else should be fine. Oops, big gust. The boat is heeling over, so I better get back to it. It is exhausting. I'm not bored yet at all. It is exhausting to be trimming, and mentally the challenge is now for me to just accept where I am. It's total uncertainty. I invest a lot of work into this, a big 10 days of my life, full on, and I have no idea about the outcome. So that's quite uncomfortable, and so I need to find some way around this, but I'm sure I can find moments where I settle in, where I put myself in a different place and just try to not think about the race, because there's more than the race to it. It is also appreciating being at sea. Oh, here starts the bouncing. Seeing a little sun ray like now, sparkling on the sea, that's beautiful. I will show you in a second. So I try to just be a seaman, do my best, take it easy, and if the race I become 15th or 20th, I will try to have done a happy sailor. And I'm aware of the privilege being out here, thanks to our great partners and the team. And I try to respect it and not and not be too worried about the race itself. Thank you everyone. Have a good evening. Bye bye. Ciao. Talk tomorrow.
Also out in the top-range wind conditions in Barcelona with Luna Rossa was the American challenger, American Magic Patriot. They also had their share of hydraulics problems, but all in all they reported that the new boat was much lighter than their previous boat. They are very happy with where they sit.
Lucas Calabrese, you're helming on starboard today on the new Patriot. First time we've seen the boat out on the water. It's very impressive. Can you tell us how different it feels to the old boat?
Well, yeah, obviously first official day. It was pretty windy, and it feels way more agile. Really, you can see the difference. And yeah, I mean there are some similarities, but overall just way more agile and lighter.
16th day of recon. How close to being able to push the boat to 100% are you?
I think we're getting there. Obviously today was probably the windiest day we said. It was upper range and sometimes above the wind limit. But we managed to do some laps, and yeah, they both felt pretty good.
We saw 18 to 22 on the recon boat. It's probably a lot more at the top of the rig. What did you see?
I saw I think 24 was the max that I saw.
The boat, does the boat start to feel out of control when you're sailing?
I think the boat's responding really well, and if there is any more control that we need to get, it's just from the sailors that are on board. The boat's behaving really, really well. The systems are working really well, and it's just up to us to get the most out of it.
We saw some quite long delays in between stints. Was there problems on board?
We had a little bit of a hydraulic issue, but it got fixed at the second part of the day.
Over the last couple of weeks, we've had 4 boats out racing in the off Barcelona here. Has the team been able to gauge any sort of performance comparisons with the other boats?
I mean, it's very hard. Like some teams have like foil cameras on, and obviously this place is quite one-sided, so it's really hard, and we're not really lining up on the same tack. So yeah, it's pretty hard. But overall, I think we're feeling pretty confident with the boat, and day to day we're getting it to explode it more.
Let's talk a little bit about communication on board the boat. What things are shared in the communication loop between the helming pairs and the trimming and flight control pairs?
Well, the helms are sharing a lot of the tactical situations and what's happening on the course, and the trimmers are just making sure they are in sync with each other. So yeah, that's pretty much the big picture.
The wind today, you said, was maybe touching 24. How much windier could you have sailed in, do you think?
I mean, it wasn't that wavy today, so probably push a little bit harder, but it's just the more you push it, the riskier it becomes for the yacht, and we don't want to damage it. So I think if it's outside the wind limits, we were very careful on how much we pushed it.
Fantastic, Lucas. Thanks for sharing with us.
Thank you.
Beers, showers and flatbeds. After almost 4 weeks at sea in the Clipper race, there was some very happy faces to be docking alongside in Panama's Flamenco Island Marina. Now, it's to get ready to transit the Panama Canal and into the last section of their round-the-world race.
Hey Henry, how are you, mate?
Very good to hear your voice and looking forward to getting in.
Yeah, we're looking forward to having you in. Good to see you there.
What can I say? I mean, it's a race. You go out to win. You set it out to win, and really, we knew that the wind was going to die, and all the most we could do was try to get a big enough cushion between us and everyone else and it worked. So yeah, a lot of hard work went into it. A lot of hard work trying to keep the boat moving whenever there's virtually no wind. But yeah, crew were brilliant keeping the boat going.
It's a long one, the longest race. We've been 4 weeks on the water together with the motoring time, I guess. It's a long race and it's been really hard. Yeah, we did a good job and really happy for our team and really happy to be here.
Cold, it was wet and rainy, and then it got warm and hotter and hotter and hotter, and then we were first place, then we were second place, then we were first place, and then we ended up in first place. Yes, go Chin now!
This race is one that can cause lots of ups and downs, but we managed to get a little bit of a lead and maintain it, so that was essential. But yeah, it was a good race. I never heard a raised voice, and everyone sort of gets stuck in. So it's brilliant. Yeah, great team. Yeah, so it now appears that first place on the podium overall is more of a distinct possibility than it was before we left. Obviously, there's a long way to go. Inika and her team of Perseverance are very good. They've got their joker as well, so we've got the work cut out for us to maintain leads on the next 3 races. But it's all up to Inika really now. She's got that double whammy on the points, and if she can make that work for her, then she'll lead the way. But we're going to do our darndest to keep them from it.
An amazing trip. We've had highs and lows. We've had big seas, cold weather, unbelievably hot weather. So it's been great. Really good. Great experience and fantastic to come second. Would have preferred first. But
really excited to be here. Get some air conditioning. Take a hot shower. Yeah, relax a little.
Basically, we finished on the first finish gate right on the outside, and it just looking at the weather forecast after that, all the wind was out in the middle of the ocean, and so we were closer to the wind. We stayed right on the right-hand side and got the wind and had a great result. So BSP said they'd buy us a beer if we ever got a podium, so we're really looking forward to just living up to what they'd hoped for us. So we're super pleased.
You get your bit of seasickness at the beginning, and then people kind of get used to the 45-degree heel. And it was a difficult first week and a half because it was cold and people didn't expect it. But then after that, I think everyone got used to it. Everyone settled in after the first few days, and it just worked out really nicely.
I just joined for this leg, so it's fantastic. I really think it's fantastic for all the round the worlders because they've been waiting for a while to get back on the podium. It felt like a great race. We really did our own strategy and it paid off in the end, so it's been fantastic. We all just gelled really quickly, the 2 watches, and we focused on performance and it paid off, so it's been fantastic.
Water and land, stage and regatta course, that is the Kiel Week. It is a shared journey of discovery with unique encounters and surprises. Let yourself drift and experience your very own Kiel Week moment. Anticipation is the best. The next Kiel Week awaits you from June 22nd to 30th, 2024.
Die Kieler Woche 2024. Eine Reise. Einmal um die Förde und zurück. Ein Blick. Herzklopfen zu dieser einen Melodie. Ein strahlendes Lächeln, wenn wir über den Wolken schweben. Unter uns das Meer in Blau, getupft mit weißen Segeln. Kleine Momente im Wir-Gefühl der Stadt. Seele baumelt gelassen. Ballone im Blick. Das ist die Kieler Woche. Jede Sekunde in ihrer Einzigartigkeit perfekt.
Wir freuen uns auf das Adrenalingefühl, wenn das erste Mal das Startsignal tütet.
Die Besatzung der Fock freut sich auf die Besucher der Kieler Woche.
Let's go!
Wir sind dieses Jahr endlich wieder bei der Kieler Woche dabei und für uns als Band von der Insel Föhr, immer etwas ganz Besonderes.
Das wird wunderschön, Leute. Kommt alle vorbei und lasst uns einen wunderschönen Abend verbringen. Ganz viel tanzen und lachen. Und ich freue mich auf euch auf der RSH Förderbühne.
Ja, genau, das ist dein Leben.
Hey, hier ist Philipp Dittberner und ich bin dieses Jahr auch dabei auf der Kieler Woche. Wir spielen auf der Rathausbühne. Ich freue mich wirklich sehr.
Hey Friends, ich bin schon mega gehypt auf die Kieler Woche dieses Jahr und ich hoffe, ihr kommt wieder alle vorbei und wir werden noch mehr abreißen als letztes Jahr schon. Data Radio, Förderbühne.
Was ich mich freue. 24.06. Kieler Woche, Schlagernacht, Rathausbühne. Was kann's Schöneres geben?
Barcelona has been serving up truly momentous weather conditions for the past month, and today was just another day at the world's most perfect office for INEOS Britannia, who lit the afterburners on a memorable session in a garbby sea breeze that peaked just above 20 knots, and a fairly choppy sea state that called for accuracy. Both teams looked sublime in the conditions, releasing the awesome power of their current generation AC75s, and made sailing look not only easy but thoroughly enjoyable, a great advert for the sport.
2 times Olympic gold medalist Giles Scott, helmsman on board side on INEOS Britannia. Giles, could you please walk us through the day?
Yeah, we were a little later off the dock this morning. I had a few bugs to resolve with one of the chase boats, but yeah, we got out there as the Garby sea breeze was firmly in, and yeah, a real nice 3 hours of yachting around in perfect conditions, 15 to 20 knots, pretty flat water. Yeah, Barcelona put it on for us today.
Today, back to the legacy rudder. Is the short team making further modifications on it?
Yeah, there's a few things being looked at on that rudder, and yeah, it's in the shed today. So we had the shorter legacy rudder out today, which went well.
Are the modifications going to be on the strut, on elsewhere?
You're gonna have to wait. You have to wait and see.
Okay. Lots of differences in between the two rudders. How much does it affect the sailing on the water?
Yeah, I mean the yachts as a whole are pretty sensitive to rudder balances in general, with the way the sail plan works and the way the foils are orientated on the yacht. So yeah, getting the rudders optimised nicely is I'm sure a big ticket for every team.
How good is the data you collect whenever you sail with the legacy rudder? Is it highly biased or is it still useful?
No, it's very useful. I mean, everything's pretty censored up. That rudder equally so. Obviously, the other rudder is a step on in generation from the legacy. But yeah, I think today showed that. We had a great day out there sailing around and hitting good numbers.
Today, some non-organized crossings with Alinghi on one of the upwinds.
Yeah.
How much were you able to extend the distance from the first cross to the last one?
I mean, I think it was we had a little look at Alinghi, as you say. We ended up on opposite tacks here and there, going upwind, and yeah, I mean, we feel pretty good with where we're at with our yacht, and to be honest, we've got to stay focused on that. It's pretty hard to tell where these other teams are at, and it's close, and we just got to keep pushing.
What is the level of confidence of the team at the moment?
It's good, yeah. Confidence is high. We think we've certainly got a lot of work to do. We feel like we've got a lot of gains to make, and we're finding that hugely motivating, and that's where our focus is.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.